Hey guys, welcome, welcome. Let's get back over to the comments. Penny's back from her trip. Awesome. Hey Anna, Penny, Marlene, Cindy. Yay. Awesome. We got some eyeballs. And I'm guessing everything is cool with the sound. It should be. Let's just say that. So, all right, let's talk about a few things. And you know what? I wanted to show you my Super Bowl cards. Oh, wait, here they are. All right, we'll get to this. Although I already mailed one of them out. Yikes. But still. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yikes. Okay. So welcome everyone. Thursday night, as Jamie says, is Tony TV. Funny. ToniStamps, that's me, Toni Tessler. We make a bunch of stuff with paper and we have fun doing it. So, we're just going to talk about a couple things and then get into it because we're going to make this fun. It's a fun fold shutter card that actually Jamie sent me a long time ago and said, "Can we please make this?" And I was like, "Sure, I'll figure it out and we'll do it." And I told her Tuesday night, I'm like, I mean, I like it, but I don't know how many of these I would make. And the reason for that is because there's not a whole lot of room to write stuff. Like all your work is put into making the card. And then you'd have to put something on the back, which I'm just not a fan of because it's already got so many layers. But we're going to get into it. Awesome, Marlene. Thanks. Deb's here. Awesome. Deborah. So couple things. Starter kit. So, they've got the Stampin' Up! Has the starter kit special this month. It's no, it's $99. You get to pick $125 worth of stuff. Included in that, oh, we got Debbie Culbertson. Awesome. So we got two Debs. Included in that, you also get their new stamp positioner tool for free, which is like $50. So that's kind of, that's a good deal. If you don't already have some other type of stamp positioner, right? Why not get it for free? Um, so that's that. That's all month. February also, this time to use your bonus days coupons that you got last month. And now is also, hey Rose. So we haven't, they got rid of celebration. So normally in January and February, we would have celebration where you buy stuff and you get free stuff. Well, that's gone. But February is when I would start telling you to start looking at your supplies of the ink colors that are going out. So the 2024 through 2026 ink colors, they stay around for 2 years. Peach Pie, Petunia Pop, Pretty in Pink, Shy Shamrock, and Summer Splash. Those are retiring this year. So the last chance list that will come out mid-March or early April, beginning of April, that's all the stuff that is going to be retiring out of the annual catalog. And those colors are going to be retiring. So don't wait till the last minute. If you need a re-inker, if you need a pack of cardstock, if you need, this is the last year that they have those markers for sale. I don't even know if they still have the markers, the Stampin' Write markers. So just start paying attention to that, so you don't miss out, right? Because you don't want to be stuck with, I have all this paper, but I don't have a re-inker for my ink pad. We never know if those colors are coming back. I really hope Pretty in Pink comes back because it's like my favorite pink ever. That goes back, 20 some years ago. So we'll see. But now's the time to start thinking about that. Okay. I am also going to do a paper share. So a couple of you have asked for the March online exclusives. I wasn't going to do anything at first, but I didn't realize how many paper packs there are. There are 8 paper packs in the online exclusives for March coming out. That's a lot. So, hey, Carol. So 8 packs, and I'll just go over the names. Homemade Sweet. They're all 12 by 12, by the way. Homemade Sweetness, Garden Poetry, Wood Grain Wonders, A Wonderful Match, which is soccer themed, like only soccer. Lunar Luster, Garden Textures, foil, Delicate Dreams and Delicate Designs. So some of the, yeah, Rose, Pretty in Pink is like the best pink. Um, there's quite a few specialty packs, which sometimes they're like metallic-y, sometimes they're, they're different somehow. But I think the Lunar Luster is 4 pieces, 12 by 12. So if you're getting a paper share, you're going to get one of those 12 by 12 sheets. So I try to keep it as the paper as big as possible. I cut everything that's 12 by 12. I cut it 6 by 12 unless there's enough for you to get a whole 12 by 12 sheet. And I do leave it there. I package it up. Nobody's ever complained that their stuff is wrecked when they get it. So that's pretty good. So that's going to be $30. And if you need it shipped, that's $9 extra shipping. Shipping has gone up, but pirate ship is still, it still comes in, right around $9. So until that increases, you guys benefit, right? So I'm gonna have a sign up for that, like a blog post and all this, and you can email me. I'm gonna get that done this weekend. I've got a pool tournament again, but it's on my list to get done. So keep that in mind. March online exclusives, and as soon as I fill it up, like as soon as I get 4 people that want to share, then I can place the order and get it out. So um, because yeah, I don't really. I can. Thanks, Carol. I can pre-order the papers, right? But it'll be available to everybody else March 1st, right, or March 2nd. I don't know. Okay. Paper share. Blah blah blah. Let's go down here, and I'm going to show you a couple things. Oh, whoopsie! I always hit the wrong button now with this new setup, so I have to make my face smaller, and now my screen. Marlene, you're in for a share. Oh, and by the way, it's either Sean or Rose noticed in the names of the paper, there's a new ink color. It's called Hydrangea Hue. And I went through and looked at the PDF, and it is like a looks kind of periwinkle-ish, but it's a shade of blue. So, hydrangeas come in blue, pink, purple, I think white. So, but this one, from looking at the PDF, it looks like it's a shade of blue. So just so you know. All right, so Super Bowl cards. So if you joined us on Super Bowl, thank you for our Zoom. Like, we had a lot of fun. We had a small group, but we had a lot of fun. It was awesome. And a lot of people have put the cards up that they made for the challenges. So every quarter I had a different challenge. So I'll just show you. This one was my first challenge, and it was foot. So the first quarter challenge, foot. So anything with a foot or paw, or like something connected to a leg, like a table leg even. So I did this bird, and I posted my pictures up there too. So, but just to show you real quick, this one was color challenge. This was third quarter for Seahawks colors, blue, green, and gray. And I went with, or gray or silver. I went, rhinestones were my silver. Um, but I like that one. And I already sent I made a snowman card for my second quarter challenge, which was Patriots color. So that's already gone. And then the last one, fourth quarter, the challenge was ball. So this time I used a disco ball from one of these ephemera packs that we have. I think it was this one, this Time for Celebration. I'm pretty sure. So that's a sticker, and then these were Unity stamps. But then I've got the dots folder. So that's fun. And then I'll give you a sneak peek for my February tutorial. So whenever you order through me online, or if you mail me your order and I put it in, you get a PDF with a tutorial every month, and then you'll get a real card in the mail that you can use. So here's what I focused on. I used these sets for February, all about celebrations. So we've got party celebrations, which this is actually on the last chance list. I think it's down to $12. So that's going away. And then this seasonal celebrations, this was an online exclusive from, I want to say, November. I'm not sure. November or December. I can't remember. But and then Reason to Celebrate. This is from the current mini catalog. So with all those, I made some mini slims. This uses the bunny, and I stamped an extra one to make a body. So this kind of makes me think of those hollow chocolates, for Easter. So the bow, that's from the party celebration. So we've got that. We've got St. Patrick's Day. Love it. I love that you can mix and match the greetings. Then an easy graduation one. This paper's actually from painted this one, Gallery Blooms, beautiful gallery. So interesting. So check your whatever designer papers. And the goal with the PDF is you take, hey Karen, you take and Lisa, awesome. You use whatever you have and you just use the designs. And then so I made I cut out the hats and the punches. This is a 5.5 by 5.5 card. But I needed to make it so big because I wanted to layer all the presents and the hats. So funsies. All right, so that's February. Let's get down to making our shutter cards. So prototype. I had time to make the prototype. I did not have time to score everything, so we're going to do that together. But this is a shutter card. So it looks like a traditional gatefold. It's got a lot of layers. So we open it, and these flaps are attached to the side pieces, and that's what opens the part for your greeting. So the first thing that kind of drives me nuts about this area is pretty small for what you can have as a greeting. So this birthday wishes, that's like the biggest thing I could find, that would fit. So it works, but there's just not a lot of room for your larger greetings, and there's no room to write anything here. So, hey, Barb. So, you would have to either write something on the back, which I'm not a fan of because there's already like a bunch of layers, like this bridge layer. Ugh. So I like it. It's cute, but I would probably use this if I didn't really want to say anything. Like, you couldn't even sign your name. I might have to do like a little piece of white down here, like love Toni. So, but anyway, Jamie asked for it, so we're gonna make it. And then after that, I do want to show you. Remember, I made my new fancy gatefold pizza box. Well, that weekend I sat down and figured out how to make a bigger one. So I'm going to show you these measurements. This thing, it's like perfect, 4.25 by 4.25. Love it. So we're just going to go over like the base of that real quick and the measurements. So first we need for this shutter fold, we have a base piece that is 5.5 by 8.5. And, for a gatefold, you really only need to score one side. We're going to score this at 2 1/8 inches, 2 1/8. Now you could flip it around and score it at 2 1/8 also, but what we see happen with that is sometimes you'll have a gap right in here where the cardstock just doesn't quite match up because it's not exactly 8.5, even though that's how we get it. So the better way to do it is fold that one flap over and then curl this one. And I like to just like wiggle it a little bit. And we want to line that right up, butt that right up to the center. All right, press that down. And then we can give this a fold. So then we're sure that these panels, the gatefolds, are meeting in the middle and there's no gap. All right, and yeah, and Penny's finally home. Awesome. All right, so fold this. Then you're going to need 4 pieces of designer paper. You can make these all the same. You can make them 2 and 2. I did 2 and 2. So I'm using some papers from this Perennial Lavender pack that I've had forever. So these are all 1 7/8 by 5 1/4. So that's like a 1/4 inch down. If you want 1/8 of an inch, you can adjust it. But I'm going to go ahead and glue these on right now. All right. And so I'm putting these ones on the outside. This isn't really that hard, but like I said, like I don't like the lack of room to write. but it is kind of cool. All right, now we open these up, and I've got, this is actually from the Valentine paper, but I'm using it. So, and I think the color is Highland Heather as opposed to Gorgeous Grape, but whatever. I didn't have enough scraps of my Perennial Lavender, like, to get this size, and I didn't want to cut a whole sheet, like a brand new 12 by 12 sheet. Anytime I see something with flowers, I mean, purple flowers or butterflies or anything, I kind of want to hoard that for, like, I always think I'm going to make like a scrapbook of my mom's, something for her. So I like to save the purple stuff for her. All right. The right side looks upside down. Well, it does, but this pack was, this pattern was one that it was a 6 by 12, and it came like that, like it was directional on both. So I know it looks like it, but, and yeah, with the butterfly going that way, but I actually cut this off the far left side of that 6 by 12 sheet, and I cut this off the far right side. But either way, nobody else is going to notice. So for the inside, we need, let's just open this up. This part right here, they call it a bridge. And let's just get to that. 3 inches by 5.5. And that does go like top to bottom. All right. Then we've got a designer series paper. This is going to be 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. So I'm only going to put glue around the edge because I want to punch that out. And I don't necessarily want to punch through glue. All right. Now you're going to need a circle punch. It could be 2 3/8. It could be 2.5. Whatever you want. I'm going to use 2 3/8. So the one I saw, I watched a couple different videos, but they suggested making a pattern, right? So punch this out of a scrap, and because you want to make sure you get your circle centered. And it's hard to do that if you just come in here like this. I mean, you can eyeball, but it's easier if you just trace it on here. So I want to trace on the back, and I'm kind of eyeballing just like middle-ish, and I'm just going to hold it down. Yeah, that looks good. Trace around it with a pencil. And that's another thing about this. You're going to be doing quite a bit of penciling for this whole card. All right, now I can see where to punch. Ideally, you don't want to punch through 2 layers, but sometimes, it's not going to kill you. My thing is, it gets a little hairy, and I don't know if you can see this. Yeah, you can see that. See that on the lumpy? So I want to come in here and try to get rid of that. I didn't notice that on my prototype, and then I was kind of mad. All right, so that looks good. Now these will come apart, and unless I got glue on it, and then you can use them for something else. All right, so punch, do this. Now we need some dimensionals, and we're going to put dimensionals 3 across the top, 3 across the bottom, and we're only going to attach, unstick the top layer at first. All right, 2, 3. Now we're going to put this in, and I'm just eyeballing it, but this is going to go top to bottom. And that looks good. Could get a ruler out, but I'm okay with it. So, because we have to get underneath here to add our flaps. So our 2 flaps, 1 on each side, you're going to need 2 pieces, 3.5 by 4. And I've got that in Gorgeous Grape. Now along the 4-inch side, score this at 1/2 inch. And same thing here, 1/2 inch. Oh, 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 oh. All right, now we need to get a ruler and we have to measure. So we need to find the exact center of this, not just the center of this square, the whole thing. So this is 4 inches across. So at 2 inches, make a little mark and try to keep this straight and then flip it around. This is 3.5. So half of 3.5 is like 1 3/4. All right, so let's make a little mark. So that's in the very center. Now we're going to want to cut here and here with our flap up there. You can draw lines if you want, or you can just wing it. And if you think you can cut it pretty straight, this is what I did, but you can draw the lines if you want. I wasn't going to get all bunched up if I, got it a little bit crooked. So now I can use this as a template, right, to cut this one. So you can either, actually, let's just do this as a V. So now I'll know where to cut. So you measure once and then you can cut both of them. All right, and we'll fold this back and fold. All right, this one I have to fold this way because I want these pencil marks on the bottom. That's the other thing. I don't really care for all the penciling, but I understand it's necessary because we need this cut, right? So here's how our flaps are going to come in. That part's making sense, right? So now we go back to this and we're going to glue our side flaps in. So this flap here is actually going to attach to here. So we're going to slide this under, and you want this edge. This is going to be hard to see with it's all tone on tone. You want the edge of our flap to be just in front of this score because you don't want it to, if you have it too close up on the score mark, it won't want to open nice. It'll make a noise. So we want to keep that, right at the score line. Try to center this, all right? If you want to get a measuring thing out, like, go for it, but I don't think you need it. That looks good. And that looks good. So the flap is at the edge. I'm going to add glue. And then just press this down. And that's going to grab that flap that we had, and it's going to be in the right spot. So this is kind of the tricky part. All right, so see how it pulls out? Love it. And I can tell I got some glue that I need to get up out of there. Okay. Wah, wah, wah. All right, now, same thing. Here's our flap. Now we're going to put this under here. We want to try to line up our points. And again, get this side of our flap as close to the score line as we can. And another thing that we can use to line up is these points. So see how the points, this is straight and straight down here, straight up here. So let's see, if I had it wonky, you would see the points like sticking over the edge, and we don't want that. And this, see how that doesn't meet up? That doesn't meet up. So you want to use those to your advantage. We want that to be nice and straight. And that looks good. Looks good. Okay. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to add a little, I'm going to move that a smidge over to the left. We're going to add glue to this flap and just fold and press that down. So it's pretty easy to come together. I just don't know that this would be my go-to card. All right, and everything is, you're gonna feel all these layers coming together. All right, open it up. I love it. Now, when you open, see when we have just the one flap open, we can see these points on this side. Before we attach this, oh, and look at that. I got mine a little bit crooked. Yikes. You just want to go in here and snip those because you don't want to see those points poking out. And you only need to do it on the one side because on this side, they're hidden under here. All right, so that's that. Now we're still not ready to attach this. So we need a circle because we got to do our greeting and get that up under there before we attach the this part. So I'm going to go with a 2 3/8 inch circle. Just because I know, that's like this size, even though I could go smaller because these bits are covering up, but not too much. I'm going to stick with this birthday wishes because I know it fits. Yeah, it's easy enough, Anna. Just like seems like a bunch of steps, but yeah, easy enough. All right. Birthday wishes. And unfortunately, you can't really stamp a whole bunch of extra stuff because you're not going to see it. All right. Now, you're going to need some way to hold this and get it up here. So what I did, I put tape all on the back of that. I did not use glue because I'm going to use my Creative Memories pick tool. And I'm just going to stick that on the tape. I mean, I guess it would work for glue too. But I'm going to fish this up here until it's lined up where I want it to be. Does that look straight enough? Yeah. And then I'll just push that and pull my stick out. All right, so that's down. Now, pretty easy, really. Now we can flip these up. Press that down. Now I do want to add some butterflies or something. So let's think about the front first. So we need something, any shape you want, just like a regular gatefold, right? So I did a square for this one, but we're going to do a circle. So I actually cut these out of a new set of dies. These are called Springtime Fun. This is from the mini catalog. So it had this die, this round die here, it actually cuts out two circles. So it cuts the inner circle and the outer one. So I thought that was interesting. But I really wanted this one. And turns out they're the same size. I thought I would layer this. I thought this was going to be a solid circle. So it doesn't really do what I wanted it to anyway. But actually, it's gonna work. So I've got to poke all these things out. All my extra bits. And this was a really good time to use my chrome plate in my Big Shot for these detailed dies. So I do like this, how it's like all these greenery bits. And I probably should have done this in like crumb cake or maybe a green or something, but I was kind of feeling the whole tone on tone business. All right, that is good. I like that. So yeah, I wanted something solid, and I think this is like a 3-inch circle, 3-ish. So yeah, I am gonna have to put this right behind here. Because I don't want it, open like that. I have to have something on the back. So I'm just gonna put glue. And I may have to add the outline image too. Let's see. Let's put that there. Oh no, that'll work. That's covering up all the bits. And that's fine. But you know what? Let's just add this. because I can see some light through there. So we're going to add this teeny tiny border. But if I had had a solid 3-inch circle, I would like that better. All right, but this is going to work. All right, now. Oh yeah, I like that. So with any gatefold, you only want to put adhesive on this half of that our image. So I'm just going to stick this down middle-ish. Hold it. Take a drink of water. All right, and then let's do some of this. Burnish, burnish, burnish. All right, butterflies. So this is one of my favorite butterfly sets, sketch butterflies, and I had a big one and medium one. I think I'm going to use this medium one. And then I stamped and cut a couple of smaller ones because I want to put at least one on the inside. All right, I like that. And then I will open it and I can put something, at least here. Let's see. Yeah, so I don't want to hang it over the edge because this flap is going to want to like bump into it. So I could either put it here. I could do that. And no, let's do this and this. Okay, that's gonna work. We'll just do the one on the outside. So I do want to do a quick like adding some color. So I do want Gorgeous Grape, and let's do like, we'll start with a lighter purple. Let's go Highland Heather. And you could do markers too, but I think this is just like super quick. So I want to add some lighter just to like the middle-ish areas. And this is, quicker and sloppier than you can have more control. All right, let's do that. Good enough. And then we'll do Gorgeous Grape along the outside. Hey, Barb. All right. And then we're going to add this. Oh, yeah, Penny, when you get settled, you won the one of the Super Bowl quarters, the first one, so you got to get me your list. All right. And add these. Yeah. I was surprised that these papers made it to a second catalog because this is the second year we've had them. These Perennial Lavender ones. But they are pretty. All right. There's that. And so let's pop this one up. Do some dimensionals. And then you can add Wink Stella, of course, if you want to make your butterflies shimmery. But I don't want to encroach on these side panels at all, really. Birthday wishes. Man, I'm having a little bit of heartburns. Oh, pretty. I love it. All right, we'll close that. And I want this one to go right here. And we'll pop some more. And then I am going to do another a little greeting. Even though that does say like birthday wishes on the inside, I like to have something on the outside as well. So we'll put this at an angle. Oh, cute, cute, cute. So yeah, this one I used Hooray. So I think I'm going to, and this was from Simply Said, birthday wishes. So I can either do Let's Celebrate or Yeah, let's celebrate. The other one could be yay, but I like the let's celebrate. So just get a scrap of white. That looks good. And we're going to do this again in Gorgeous Grape. Oh, cute, cute, cute. So I think I'm going to cut this one up, make it separate, and then layer it with the crumb cake scraps that I have. But I hope you're getting the gist of this, that like, I did turtles for the prototype. This will be good for Valentine, like any paper, really, any theme. I think it would be really cute if you had, there's a stamp, I think it's in the mini, that's got like a camera in it. That would be cute because you could have like since it looks like the camera shutter on the inside. Super cute. All right, let's celebrate. And then I can glue these and hand cut our little let's celebrate. So I'm not worried about getting them on here straight because I'm going to cut around the whole thing anyway. Okay. Almost there. And yeah, I'm super excited to show that bigger box. Ooh, glue bit. So I'm just trying to keep the layer edge similar. But nobody else is really going to notice. All right, let's go right there. Oh, and I can tell I cut that a smidge crooked. All right, don't try to fix it too much. Otherwise, it'll just get smaller and smaller. All right, let me get these little bits out of here. And then I want to add some brass butterflies because why not? Yeah, this is cool. All right, so just put glue here. And you could pop this up, but I'm just going to give it flat. And then I'll have this here. Cute, cute, cute. All right, let's do Wink of Stella over all of these. Ugh, cute. And then we'll bring in our butterflies. And I love these Purple Fine Shimmers. I think I got 3 packs of these when they first came out because I panicked and thought that they were going to go away. Like, run out and not come back. Oh, funny, Gloria. I always cut straight. But see, I don't always cut straight. But most times, as long as you go slow enough, it'll work out. All right, let's do a little one here. Let's get that glue booger out of here. Do a little butterfly and a big one right there. So we have a group of 3, and actually let's do like one over here too. So then we have 5 total on the inside. Odd numbers are better. Oh, I love that. I mean, I guess really you could put white down the sides here, and then you could use that to write on. Love it. All right, we'll do 1, and then 1 down here. Let's do a big one, and then a little one. And then we gotta get some gems on here too. 1, 2, 3. And any of these shades of purple are going to go. So I like this blackberry because that's going to pick up the blackberry in the paper. Really cute. I love that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things. Absolutely not. We're going to have a odd number there. 7 things. Okay. I love it. So there's our shutter card. So I hope, I don't even know if Jamie got on here tonight, and she was the one that wanted to see this. But she will watch it later and be amazed. All right, so who wants to see the gatefold pizza box? I'm trying to file my gems. You know, remember, I made the little one, and I want to show you the big one. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm just going to show you the base, though. I'm not cutting any designer papers or anything like that. Just going to give you the measurements so you'll know what's up. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. Yeah, no Jamie. Okay, strange. I hope she's okay because she was very excited about it. All right, let me pick a paper. So we need, our finished box is going to be 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. And I'm doing the same measurement, 1 1/4 inch sides. So 6 3/4 by 11. Remember I said I wanted to see how big I could get it. Oh, thanks, Barb. So I wanted to keep it at 11. So this all adds up to 11. So 6 3/4 by 11. Actually, let's do purple. Why not? Because I just noticed I'm down to like 10 pieces of gorgeous grape. Might as well use it and order more. Okay, 6 3/4. Ugh. And I will put, I'll take a picture of this pattern. This is just on a little scrap, but I've got all the stuff here. So easy peasy. 6 3/4 by 11. So that's all we need to cut. And I love how this is going to come together. All right, so on the long side, we're going to score at 2 1/8, 3 3/8, 7 5/8, and 8 7/8. And then turn it, and we'll score at 1 1/4 and 5 1/2. All right, and actually I can move this now. All right, so now we just gotta cut things. So this is going to, all our pieces are gonna fold up like this to make our box. So this will be the center. So we're gonna cut this out. I wanna cut straight against the left side of that score mark. And, ooh, why did I have glue on my scissors? I don't know how that happened. All right, I'll have to deal with that. Now this one, I'm going to angle it just a tiny little bit on both sides. All right, and then same thing here. We're going to stay to the inside, straight up that score line. Angle. And then I can angle that one a tiny bit. And that doesn't want to come off. I love how quick a box like this can come together, though. And really, 4 1/4, this will hold, a decent size something. Let's go up here. All right, so if you have asked a question and I missed it, just email me, okay? Because I know I didn't catch everybody's comments. All right, now let's burnish all of our bits, all of our folds. I love this. And yeah, I might put more purple papers on this too and make this a butterfly box. All right, now we're going to fold all of these. And one thing that I did not do last week, I don't think I did anyway. So when we fold this, let's see, let's fold all this in. I want to make sure that there's nothing really hanging off this edge. And there's, well, see that tiny little bit that's hanging off? I want to cut that and then angle it a little bit. So I want to do that for this layer as well. Fold this in. So now we see this part right here that's hanging off or hanging over the edge. I just want to cut that because it makes your box fold nicer if you don't have anything hanging off like that, hanging off the sides. All right, and then we'll do the same thing over here. Inside one. And again, that little tiny bit. Just going to go straight up and then angle. Straight up, angle. And then let's see what's hanging over on the very end. Not really anything. Oh, there's a little something. Okay, now we can glue it together. So this is going to be the middle of our box. So these flaps right here, these are all coming up. So let's put glue on this one. And we want to join those together so we have that nice straight up and down corner. Okay, get that. And I'm going to burnish this. I'm going to bend these out a little bit to make it easier to work with. All right, this tab. Now I prefer to use glue now when I'm making these boxes. Well, for anything really, since I really found it a couple years ago. But if you still like to use sticky strip tape or, you know, some kind of strong adhesive tape, like go for it. I just really prefer the glue now. I mean, it dries quick enough and it doesn't come off later. I've had some scrapbooks that I made with the red line sticky strip that we used to love and trust so much, and things have popped off, and I can't tell you how disappointing that is. All right, ooh, let's fold that flap in. All right, last one. And this gets kind of weird to hold everything in place, but you'll figure it out. All right, that is nice and straight. Marlene, you made some of the small ones? Awesome. I love it. I love it when you guys make stuff. All right, so here's our box. So these flaps, let's just fold this in. Now, when you add, I found, oh, look, see, it's staying perfect. I found that one trick is, so you want one flap, like, let's pick this flap to be like kind of on the outside. So I want this one on that side, this one on this outside. So when I bring these together, let's have this one on the outside. See how that goes? And trying to do this all at the same time, and this one on this outside. And with that overlapping some, it should make it want to stay down better. I love it. Perfect. It does help to have your designer paper because that makes things a little bit thicker and sturdier. And I feel like then it really wants to stay in place. But how cute. So this one, I did pretty in pink and with those wildflower birthday papers. Love it. So 4¼ by 4¼ That's the biggest size that I could go with that. And really, you know, if I had used 12 by 12, hey Rose, I'm pretty sure I said hi to you earlier. I can't remember now. Um, if you wanted to use 12 by 12 cardstock, not the two-tone cardstock, because that would not be thick enough for this box. I just don't think you're that extra inch. It's only going to give you like what, maybe another quarter inch or half inch, wide. That doesn't seem worth it to use 12 by 12 when it's not easily, we can't easily get the 12 by 12 cardstock anymore. I mean, you can only get it in black, white, and chrome cake. So, unless you're like me and have like 40 packs of it left from all these years ago. But yeah, it is a nice size box. 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. So you can definitely put something in there. Pair of socks, pair of earrings, something, a whole handful of candy. Yikes. So yeah, I hope you guys like this shutter card and give it a try. I would like to see what you guys come up with as far as your outside. I do think that camera situation would be neat, just because of the mechanism, how it's like a camera shutter. Ugh. So, all right. Next week, I already lost my notes, but I will tell you, I'm going to be working on a 6x6 mini album Easter. I came up with all the page sizes and the measurements this week, because I've been wanting to do that. Easter's kind of early this year, so I wanted to, get something, done so you could have your album done ahead of time. And for those Easter papers, I want 6x6 because I have just a quarter pack of all that. So I have just the 6x12 pieces. So I'm going to use pretty much all of that. And there was 3 packs that I was going to use. Easter Joy. I can't remember. Some of the shimmer paper and something else. Oh, the one that has like the 3 patterns. It's got like Summer Splash, Peach Pie, and Pretty in Pink. And they're like foily. So we're going to use some of that too. So tune in for that next week. And thanks for hanging out, you guys. And oh my God, it's before 9 o'clock. Awesome. Have a great week, and I will see you guys later. Okay, thanks.